member of that elite unit has filed a complaint alleging he was the victim of homophobic bullying while deployed as a CIA contractor last month in Afghanistan. Jones, who says his family helped convince him to write a memoir called Pride, the story of the first openly gay Navy SEAL, says he experienced such a disturbing pattern of harassment last month from his fellow contractors, he concocted a fake story in order to get on a helicopter and leave. Writing in his 15-page complaint, Jones said that, quote, I called my husband, woke him up, and filled him in on everything that had been happening. Unsure of whom I could trust at this point, I contacted a deputy director and told him of a fake family emergency. Around the same time, Jones also recorded a rather chilling message on his cell phone.
My name is Brett Jones. It is July 2nd, 2:45. The reason I'm making this is in the event that something happens to me, I guess if there's evidence.
This afternoon, the CIA sent a statement to All In, which reads, in part, CIA has no comment on specific allegations raised. We take very seriously any allegation of sexual, racial, or any form of harassment and or discrimination at the CIA. We have a zero-tolerance policy against such behavior, and CIA leadership is committed to holding all employees accountable for living and promoting this policy. Joining me now is former Navy SEAL Brett Jones. Mr. Jones, can you tell me what started to happen when you landed on assignment working for this contractor that was contracted with the CIA in Afghanistan?
Well, when I arrived, there were a series of things that were happening. When I got off the plane, there wasn't a vehicle to pick me up, which was unusual, but not the end of the world. When I got into our team room, I noticed that as soon as I walked in, a bunch of the guys sort of walked out. It was a lot of little things over the course of about 2 weeks that were happening, leading up to me overhearing a conversation where one of the guys used the F word, describing gay people negatively. And I had to pull him off to the side and talk to him about it. And then it was just a series of things after that. Lots of little things, but leading up to being left on a mountain as they drove off and left me. And they eventually did come back and pick me up. But it wasn't in a joking manner. This wasn't a playful sort of thing. The whole trip I was there, the tension was just so thick. And it led up to a PowerPoint presentation right before a fairly dangerous brief. And that PowerPoint presentation had some of the most disgusting things I've seen on them. I knew that I needed to retrieve that PowerPoint presentation for evidence. And so I woke up early the next morning to do just that and discovered a bunch of racist pictures being used as a screensaver on one of the computers right as you come in and out of the team room. So I had no idea where this began or where it ended.
I want to go back to this incident which you were left on out, just to be clear, because there's some sense in which you felt genuine threat from the men you were working with. These were fellow contractors, is that right?
It was both contractors and agency staff.
And you're saying they out of essentially anti-gay animus from the beginning, they knew that you were openly gay, they treated you differently, and out of that anti-gay animus, they left you on a mountain and drove off?
It's, in a nutshell, that's basically what happened. But they did come back and pick me up.
What were the circumstances? You were there essentially doing a security sweep, right? And you got out of the vehicle, and then they just got out of the vehicle and drove off?
Well, actually, I had asked everyone to load up this vehicle because I needed to test. I was in charge of all the police out there, so I needed to test this vehicle because we were going to put some new equipment in it. And this equipment was rather heavy, so I needed about 8 guys, 4 guys in the cabin, 4 guys in the back of the truck. And the truck got to a particularly dangerous part of a mountain trail, and I decided to get out of the back of the truck, and a lot of the other guys did the same. The other guys stayed in, just in case the truck rolled. And when I got out, they drove through that particular difficult portion of the trail, and walked behind, and I started jogging to get back up in the vehicle, and they drove off.
At some point, I wanted to show some of the PowerPoint presentation that you were able to get your hands on this. Can we show that for a second? describing you as calling you gay or Frankie Beans, right? I mean, this was loaded. This was part of a security briefing to the whole team, in which you were essentially, calling you out this way in an official document.
Yes, it was pretty disturbing at the time. Right before a very dangerous mission. Now, these missions, this kind of a group of people, the teamwork is essential to the mission success. You have to go out of that wire confident that every one of those guys is going to have your back, and that you're going to have theirs. You have to have that kind of confidence to be successful in that line of work.
Gretchen, thank you for your time, I appreciate it. Go ahead. The dentist accused of killing Cecil Line is facing a...
The truth of the matter is, this has probably gone on, eliminating sodomites, homosexuals, has probably gone on since the beginning of time. The truth of the matter is, the real men, the gutsy men, the men in a real battle, they can't take no chances on somebody who might be sucking somebody's dick. Because somebody sucking somebody's dick, a man sucking another man's dick, I can't think of another way a better way for a man to lower himself than for a man to suck another man's dick. And what I believe is when a man sucks another man's dick, it causes brain damage. The cum goes down his throat and goes through his stomach and goes to his fucking brain. And that which was once disgusting is no longer disgusting. In a twinkling of an eye, it changes. The truth of the matter is homosexuals, I can't think of a better way to destroy a country. The homosexuals have infiltrated the TV, through hairdressing, through theater. They have infiltrated the CIA. They have probably infiltrated the Pentagon. Boy, I'll tell you what's going to be a miracle if the USA can survive this. I can't think of a worse way to destroy a country, an easier way. But there are countries, if anybody's a homosexual, they get rid of them immediately. They don't even encourage it. We got a sabotager-in-chief as of August 2015 was going over to Kenya, probably bribing them to allow homosexuality over there in Kenya. The truth of the matter is homosexuality, somebody who grows up in homosexuality, they'll never know how to be able to attract the mate of the opposite sex. Because it takes many, many signals. And if a person hasn't learned them signals, there's an old saying that goes, if you have to ask, you'll never know. Well, the truth of the matter, see, I was born an orphan. I never had a regular family. So I don't know them thousands of signals that are needed to attract a mate or anything like that. And the truth of the matter is, if a guy asks a chick automatically if she thinks of him as a loser, he's supposed to know the unwritten rules. So homosexuality, now we've got transgender shit going on. We had a crazy bitch by the name of Jazz, Dr. Oz, I believe is a sabotager. He had shit. That's a she and a he. I call it a shit. Had shit on TV. Boy, and by the way, they make sure that this shit look real good looking. See, if you're gonna infiltrate a country, make sure you do it with good-looking people, because that automatically goes beyond the normal defenses that a person has. Automatically, they're mesmerized by the looks. So now, I can't think of a better way to destroy a country. Homosexuality makes the military to where there's dissension in there, unsurety in there, anything like that. A guy before a long time ago, Bill Clinton, he's the one that did that fucking don't ask, don't tell bullshit. Let me crack in the fucking closet. I contend this way. If anybody knows about it, they should have done something about it a long time ago. Poor Nita Bryant back in the 70s. She tried to fight the homosexuality shit that was going on. And she paid for it dearly. She lost her contract with the Citrus administration in Florida because of it. From what I understand, she lost her husband. She went through hell, only trying to protect families. Well, nowadays, this homosexuality shit, it ain't nothing to see on fucking TV. There's a fucked up show that's called Modern Family. They use things like what I've seen men kissing on TV. Now there is something that is called what is it called? There's a term now that they use now. There was this show called Queer Eye for the straight guy that was on I think it was Bravo TV. See, all it takes is the good people not to do anything. The good person has never done a motherfucking thing in their life besides fucking twiddle their goddamn thumbs. And the truth of the matter, it's only the gutsy people. You can count them by the people that have probably gone to jail, who have probably died. But they just didn't sit back like a bunch of pussy-ass motherfuckers. Even in the Bible, the Good Samaritan talks about where he did a gutsy act where the pussy-ass preacher went on the other side. And even in the Bible, the Old Testament mentions it, and I think it's in Genesis and Jeremiah, if I'm not correct, where this guy says, hey, take my beautiful virgin daughter. Fuck the shit out of her, but please don't fuck the men. Well, what did they want to do? Man thinks he's smarter than the animals. He's smarter than our maker. So our maker is basically allowing us to make the rope and hang